Why did we give the men the choice? Right? Right. Why do we have to wait for them to ask us to marry us?
Right.
Yeah, it's such a different thing. And don't get me started on the dating stuff.
Well, that leads us to the topic for today, which is also not a vibe, which is dating in Australia.
Dating in Australia.
Versus dating anywhere else.
But to be so cheap and to be like, where is the human dignity? Where is the like self-respect that you could post something like that and not think like, wow, I'm really coming across to the world as someone who's so broke and cheap and, you know, judgmental and like.
Hello there fellas, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're gonna see a lot of nonsense and dumb silly things which are kind of hilarious. So let's see what we got here today.
Let me give you some numbers. According to a 2022 Pew Research Center survey, roughly 30% of adults over 50 in this country are single. I heard you, she's single. Our next guest, Carmini Boyer, is one of them. The 53-year-old beauty guru is going viral after sharing an inspiring message to singles on social media that's now been viewed more than 4 million times. Take a look.
So yeah, I'm 53, completely single by choice, and also no children by choice. Love my life, have incredible friends, and travel.
I say, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
Is the secret to my happiness. I do not wait around for some man to show up to travel with me or to explore places with me. I do it on my own and have so much fun, and usually take friends with me, meet friends wherever I go. It's the secret to my personal happiness. So if you're out there whining and complaining that you can't find a guy and your life is not worth living, then you better knock it off and rethink the way you're living your life, because you got one shot, babies. So have fun and enjoy it while you can, single or not.
I do agree that single or not, you just have to enjoy your life the way you see what your happiness is. But then again, you should not be telling yourself a beauty guru when your hands and your face don't even match. Like, come on. So much makeup, man. It's like, who is she trying to fool with that title of beauty guru?
I love this video, and clearly the audience does for many reasons, because let me just say that this is not about single people versus people who are in relationships. It's not a us versus them.
No, it's about choice. We all have a choice, and not one is better than the other, but it's about living in your truth.
Yeah.
And then also, the reason why I shared that message was that other people out there didn't have to just believe the narrative that they're taught. Right. It's in you. You feel it. I felt it, and that's why I wanted to share
I felt it. I mean, I've told this story before. I remember in my 30s being in a relationship with someone I despised, but I didn't want to break up because I didn't want to go to my friends and say I had another bad turning.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, because you start to feel that people are, what's wrong with her?
Right. It's somehow your fault.
Somehow my fault.
Love comes in so many forms.
Right.
See? They do not want that accountability. Like, nothing can be wrong with them. It's always the guy's fault. Like, come on.
I just knew at such a young age, I was 9 or 10 years old, and I just had a knowing that I didn't want kids. And I was
how old were you when you first told that out loud? Because I think a lot of women don't want to say that out loud because, again, the notion is that you're selfish, you're an awful person, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I knew at 10 years old. I just had a feeling, like people were playing with dollies at that age. I just knew I wasn't going to have kids. And I came from a very traditional, like, loving family. I say I never want children, and also I don't want to get married.
Oh, so you tell them up front, I don't want to have children.
That's right.
And I don't want to marry you.
That's right.
She doesn't want kids and she doesn't want to get married. She's 53 and she doesn't want kids. Ma'am, you cannot have them even if you want to. Stop the cap. And about the marriage part, let's be real. It's because she's quite successful, she's got a lot of money, so she will have a lot of hard time to find a guy who's earning more than her. And she's 53, no one wants her. So now she's going to indicate that it's her decision that she doesn't want to get married or have kids. When in reality, we know she has hit the wall and no one wants her.
They'll say, oh, well, he didn't want to marry her, or, you know, he didn't want her. And it's like, no, you don't want that.
Why did we give the men the choice? Right?
Right.
Why do we have to wait for them to ask us to marry us? ask us to go on a date. It's up to us to do that and make that decision. It's our lives together, right? So why does it always have to be in their hands?
She just said that she's not interested in having kids or a marriage, so why she's all of a sudden salty about the fact that men have that privilege or that authority to decide whether he will have the marriage or the relationship will continue. Why does shit bother her? Like, isn't she the one saying she doesn't want to marry? So why does she care?
Thank you so much. I love that the movie Love Jones is the jump off point. Why is that the perfect movie, you feel, to capture where things are?
Because if we think of like the quintessential couple, we think of the Cosbys on the Huxtables on the Cosby Show. But Love Jones is when we started to really see this demographic shift in characters, away from married couples to young Black professionals who weren't married and didn't have any children. So I wanted to write a whole book about this.
See, here's the difference between men and women when we enjoy some kind of entertainment. We know most movies are just fiction. Even the biographies are fiction at some capacity because they add something to make it more dramatic than it actually has to be. But women, when they watch this fiction and whatnot, they want that exact scenario happening in their own life as well. They want to be that as the part of their own life. So now this woman went up and just wrote a book based on or inspired by that fictional movie. Now, the woman who reading those books would want that in reality, and thus the kind of modern feminism we are dealing with today, because now we got women who want to work a job, don't want kids, families and everything, basically want to fool around and still want the benefits of a relationship from some guy. Doesn't make sense to me.
But I get hate mail all the time saying, oh, you're saying that we don't need men. I was like, if you read the book, I'm not saying that. I'm simply saying, let's go past the conversation of why aren't you married? Why don't you have children? Let's talk about what singles are doing. Right. I met a guy just the other day and I said, I wrote a book about singles and how like they buy houses. He's like, single people buy houses? I was like, you need to read my book.
Oh my God.
Here's the funny part. All this time, you'll see this woman try to convince others that being single is nice, being single is good. They try to convince you that their lifestyle is better. On the flip side, you will never see men on TV shows constantly bragging about how single is nice. Even though we know that it's nice, we don't need validation from others, so we don't feel the need to go on TV shows and talk about it or write a book about it all the time. But look at women, they will constantly try to make TikToks or write books or be on TV shows saying that nonsense because they want validation that their life is better. Let me know what you guys feel about this.
Not to be like, maybe it's just we've just come back from overseas. I don't want to be like, oh, like overseas is the best thing ever. But I just feel like Melbourne is become the most boring place on the planet.
It's just, there's just not a vibe. Someone tell me where the vibe is and send me location of the vibe, because I would love to join the vibe, because I don't see it. And I know it's like, okay, well, it's colder weather right now. And
yeah, but babe, look at London.
Yeah.
They own winter, right? They go.
It's hard to compare London to Melbourne though. But like, come on.
But can't we adopt, like, why is the cold make us not want to go out? It's so weird.
Yeah, when it's 90% cold in this city.
Exactly. Like,
surely
we've
we've
adjusted
adjusted
the whole time now.
I know. Vibe. So it's a massive, in that sense, I'm like, I miss the community vibes. I miss like feeling like I was a part of something bigger. Here it's very lonely in Australia. Yeah, it's such a different thing. And don't get me started on the dating stuff.
Well, that leads us to the topic for today, which is also not a vibe, which is dating in Australia.
Dating in Australia.
Versus dating anywhere else.
Guys, I just came back from overseas and like, God, like it's such a different vibe.
It's actually scary.
It's
here.
Yeah, it's scary, yeah. It's really scary. I just know, and I know so many people that are moving overseas to find the love of their life because they're just not meeting people here that put their emotions on the line and actually like put themselves out there. I was speaking to my girlfriend and she was saying she went out on the weekend, she saw this guy that we both knew, didn't give her anything, didn't say one word. And then when she got home, he was messaging her how beautiful she looked, all this stuff. And she was like, where was that energy when I saw you?
It's so unattractive.
And it's just so like the Australian man, so scared to put himself out there, so scared to get rejected, so scared to do anything. Like, what would go wrong with you going up to a woman and telling her she's beautiful? Like,
well, he could be called as a creep. He could be insulted if you don't like the way he looks. Worst possible scenario, he could get some criminal charges. You women don't understand the actual risk. You just imagine that some good-looking guy will come, ask you out, and happily ever after. That doesn't how reality works. And men live in reality. And reality is that men can be just put in jail for silly reasons. Why would you want to take that risk?
It's the worst thing that's going to happen. She's going to be like, go away. Like, everybody likes to hear that they're beautiful. Rather than in Lebanon or even Europe, like, men do the most to get your attention and to keep your attention and to like
wow you, to impress you. It's like here there's like no desire to impress a woman. It's like take her out, kind of not make a plan, kind of not make effort, kind of put the ball in her court, or too afraid to go up to her, and then it's kind of all on her to steer it, and then you end up fucking her over anyway because you're either, I don't know, stingy, lack of effort. It's just like very low maintenance, very low
it's
effort,
low
very
risk,
low,
low reward. Like, what men are you winning here?
Yeah.
You know, like, how is this man going to protect you? How is this man going to be the person that raises your children, raises your boys, raises your girls? How is he going to be the king of in a daughter's eyes? I really wonder that. Like, for example, I went to the gym in Lebanon. I was working out and then I was waiting for my Uber at the front. This guy who was trying to get my attention was like, you catch an Uber? No way. I'm going to get my driver to drive you there. And like, he was just so gentleman the way he went about it. I was like, no, because I didn't know him. And then I was like, okay, like whatever. And then like, when I got there, he got the driver to message him and he messaged the driver saying, ask her for a number so I can make sure that she gets to a friend's place. Okay. Like, he did it in a very smooth way. It was very thought out. And that's like every second person. They're doing the most to impress you because they know that like, men are hunting. It's a very classical, let's say, biological, gendered, back in the old days, where men try to impress you. And yeah, I don't know what it is here. Like,
see another double standards, expecting men to do all the traditional stuff. Meanwhile, you don't even qualify to be a traditional wife, let alone you're doing something traditional for that guy. But that aside, did you just guys see that she mentioned the guys are going above and beyond to get the attention, are doing the most for getting these girls? But where is that guy? If he was doing all this, you should be responding to that kindness and maybe you would be in relationship with that guy because you make it sound like that's how men should be. But then again, you're here, alone, single, complaining about it. So what point did that prove? Even the guy simping around or being nice or kind doesn't get any shot. Doesn't make sense what you're trying to say here.
It's really just not.
Well, we were talking about the other day about how it ties into like modern masculinity in Australia and how the lack thereof for majority of men, obviously not all men.
So while I was away, I was happily on Arab Talk, Euro Talk, other side of the world Talk. And then Lexi sent me this Yochi date thing. And I think we need to discuss that. So essentially the clip is a guy who took a woman out on a Yochi date and was hoping that she didn't choose the bigger cup, and then
I actually can't, even when you talk about it, I'm like, I feel unwell.
And then he was kind of judging her on the amount that she did and because it was going to be expensive and how many toppings she added to her frozen yogurt.
Like mentally calculating the bill and being like, oh, this is a bit expensive. Like, oh my God.
Like, how do I say this? Okay, this guy was quite young and everyone's obviously in a different financial position. But if you don't have the finances just to take someone on a particular date, do something else. Make a picnic, do something thoughtful that doesn't involve money. But to be so cheap and to be like, where is the human dignity? Where is the like self-respect that you could post something like that and not think like, wow, I'm really coming across to the world as someone who's so broke and cheap and, you know, judgmental and like.
I wish the both of you good luck with cats and wine in your 40s. That's exactly what's going to happen to them. Just wondering, what did the Lebanese guy get after doing all that simping? Exactly. He got nothing, no relationship, no nothing. Why is dating in Australia so miserable? Maybe stop going for the same guy and keep your legs closed.
Hey, what time do you guys close?
We close at 3.
But it's 1:32.
1, 2, 3. destroy you, okay? Simps don't understand this.
Is anybody else really turned on right now?
Yeah. What's more manly than defending honor? Nothing, okay?
Imagine being born because your mother needed $40 and your daddy had it.
Yo, shout out to Caesar, man.
You know why I pulled you over?
Because I'm black?
Yeah. No. Your wife fell out of the car about a mile back.
No wonder it was so quiet.
Anyways guys, that is for this video. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and all that stuff. Comment your opinions in comment section below. Helps the channel. Here are some more videos if you're interested you can watch. And that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next one.